Jeremy Ryan reporting from Defending Wisconsin Political Action Committee, www.defendingwisconsin.org. What you are about to see here today is what really happened at the Special Olympics event. What really happened was we didn't create any sort of disruption, and even the spokespeople from the Special Olympics said that we were very respectful and that they didn't have a problem with it. We didn't disrupt anything. And so before people go criticizing that event, you might as well get your facts straight. All that happened is what you'll see in the video, and this is what happened the whole time. Protesters, myself included, the video footage is by Miles, and he goes and talks to a police officer, and that's kind of funny. Asked him to arrest Scott Walker. But all that's in the video is that the protesters silently turned their backs to Walker when he started speaking. The athletes felt respected. The people running the Special Olympics felt respected. And no one who was there that I know of really thought it was disrespectful unless they have some other sort of political agenda. And then what you'll see is clips from the Joint Finance Committee today. Jeremy Ryan reporting from the Defending Wisconsin Political Action Committee, www.defendingwisconsin.org.
Became involved with Special Olympics. Each year he attended the Final Eight kickoff in Milwaukee and would speak very passionately about Special Olympics. He always took an act.
Our athletes from the Special Olympics, a big cheer to you and to the thousands you represent.
Guys, I want to make a complaint. This guy up on stage right now, you should arrest him. This guy, no, seriously. I mean, somebody just... Let's arrest him.
I like the bow tie.
I know. He's basically using the Special Olympics as a shield. He knows people aren't going to yell him down for the Special Olympics.
I can't comment.
I know.
Thanks very much.
Here, Dean Garfoot, Aaron Donnell, Donald.
Hello. How's it going?
I was going to ask him for an interview.
I don't think he's giving interviews right now.
Do I have the right to ask him for it?
Right now, you have the right to stand right here.
Okay, so, okay.
After having been briefed on this sub, I mean, this is a piece of work that is not ready for prime time. Even your necessity to meet and clear things up at the very last minute and rush through indicates that there are still a lot of questions. As we're being briefed, we're learning that there are so many pieces of holes, there's so many holes in this piece of legislation that it's irresponsible to even talk about passing something like this right now. I mean, just even, I have tons of notes here, just even in jotting things down, I mean, no one in this state is going to know whether it's legal for them to carry, whether police, law enforcement is not going to know whether it's legal for someone not to carry. There are questions about whether you can carry if you have a license or no license, if there's a post or if there's a verbal warning, if you're in a residence or a business, or what if it's a shared residence and a shared business, if you've had a sip or you've had 2 drinks, if you had wine or you had beer. It is completely full of holes that makes it completely unclear, certainly for a legislator that interprets or attempts to interpret legislation, but for law enforcement even, and for the average citizen who doesn't have this huge bill in front of their face to know, if I'm in a state park or if I'm in a private park, if I'm at a residence or a business, if I'm driving my car versus driving my employer's car. These are the types of nuances that are in this bill that determine whether someone is legally or illegally carrying. And it's irresponsible. It's an absolute compromise of public safety. And we really should not be here taking up this bill right now. It is, I mean, even legislative council had to go and try to figure out answers to things because because the way this is written is so unclear and so irresponsible. And when you're talking about public safety, carrying concealed weapons, jeopardizing people's lives, to be so irresponsible, just to rush something through so that you can get it done, is unconscionable. And that being my opening statement, I just will get to a couple of the things that I wanted to make sure I had some understanding on.
Just around the same thing, that's the goal now. First of all, I'm going to ask unanimous consent to have LRB 0135/3 introduced, which was the Senate substitute amendments. That's what we're talking about. And our goal would be to ask questions of lead counsel, and then we'll allow people to make a statement. But if we can try to stick to the questions, I think it's easiest, I think, to move us along.
Okay, well, I thought my statement kind of led into my question. So,
I'm just
okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Co-Chair. I think I want to make sure that I have clarity on the cost issues. I think that we're kind of run together and to make sure that others do too. So it's my understanding in the first year, I heard, I have 1.256 million that it would cost, but I heard somebody say 1.4 for the database. Which is it? It's 1.2, right?
The estimated first year cost to develop the database and the interfaces is $1,256,000. Subsequent annual cost for maintenance of the system would be $300,000 annually.
Okay. No on the amendment, and not because I don't recognize that there are some positive changes. I'm voting no because I won't be forced into picking the lesser of two evils. And I think that we are here today having to choose between what are two very evil bills, and bills that are very detrimental to public safety and to the health of our community and state. As I said earlier, I think my biggest argument is that it has been shown, it has been proven, it has been confirmed by Fiscal Bureau that we lessen the penalties for having firearms around children. That's certainly something that I will not be able to put my name on. And so while I think that we'll continue to have a healthy debate over the actual bill as amended, I do want to say that I recognize and commend the folks who worked to improve what was already an awful bill. But again, I won't be able to vote for this in any form whatsoever.
Okay, it's been moved by Representative Voss, seconded by Senator Darling for LRB 0135. We do have a motion which adds...
Representative Voss. Yes. Dyer. Aye. Lemieux. Nygren. Dakota.
Aye.
Are
you serious? And you're going to let him do it, Alberta? Come on. Don't let him
Sheila. Senator Darling. Olson.
Senator Alberta
Arsdorf.
Darling, you should demand that the co-chair allows people to speak to a bill because he wants to be someone who disrespects the institution. Don't let him do it.
Taylor.
It is
I'd like a point of order.
I want to speak to the bill. I want to speak to the bill. And it is ridiculous that you would do that.
Personal privilege, point of order.
Representative Schilling.
Is there something in particular that we can say?
Can we challenge your...
No, this is
a no
not.
vote. And the fact that you want to get out of here, but we waited an hour and 15 minutes to commence because we had other members that were tied up. I know you want to leave, but we would like to have our piece to talk on this bill. We were careful to talk 2 times on our motion on the stuff. And then people made it clear that they wanted to talk on the stuff. And
You need to quit rolling, trying to roll over the minority every time you just don't want to deal with what you're doing. It's completely inappropriate for you to do that.
The sub is the same.
Whatever you feel, the rules and the process is we have an opportunity to do that. And you identified the rules. You changed the rules from what normally happens, and then you, again, want to roll over the voice of the people.
Why don't we just take a moment?
Why don't you just give us an opportunity to speak?
Well, why don't you let me